Hi, Dr. Morrison and Sam. I'm James Liu from Sam's section, Theory 220. And today I would like to present my final presentation. I want to talk about Eine Blasse Washerin, this song from Pierre Lunet, Opus 21, composed by A.Schoenberg. Actually, this context, Eine Blasse Washerin is from German, and it's called a pale washerman or a pale washerwoman. So before I start, I want to read a little bit about a very interesting quote by Schoenberg. It said, the principal function of form is to advance our understanding. It is the organization of the piece which helps the listeners to keep the idea in mind, to follow its development, its growth, its elaboration, and its fate. I think that's how interesting about he interprets about the form. So today I would like to interpret this piece in around three aspects. The first one is the style technique method, and the second one is the phrase structure and the form. The third one is the dynamic lyrics and ornamentation of understanding. So first of the first, I would like to start on pitch setting versions. Basically, there are two types of distinct technique demonstrated in this piece by Schoenberg. The first one is definitely this. It's called pitch setting versions. So basically, what it means is that if we look at the measure 5 and measure 6 first, in the example, you see the circle bracket on the red one over here on the left. It has the note of C natural, E flat, E natural. And on the right, the bracket circle has C sharp, D, and F natural. So if we take a look at those kinds of two sets and put into prime form, they construct as 014 and 034 and 014. And if we look at the normal order, the one on the left is 034, which is on the one on the right is 015. If we combine all of that, and we'll get an operation of I5, which this is meaning the trichord version. Then if we take a look at it in measure 7, it is also composed or kind of a bracket into two sets of pitch set in theories. So if we see the first grouping of pitch sets, it has the notes G natural, A flat, and B flat. Oh, one interesting stuff. The B flat over here can raise one octave higher, because in the Mach 12 system of this pitch set theory, the registered pitch doesn't matter. What matters is the pitch register doesn't matter, but what it matters is the entire the exact kind of pitch number and also the pitch name. So if we look at this section here as the red circle at measure 7, it has the prime order of 1013, which is, if we look at the red circle over here, one thing more, this repeated G can be excluded out of this set because it's repeated. And then the prime form is 023, so it definitely has another trichord inversion. So in the end, I think, and if we put together from this prime form, which is at the left is 7, 8, and 10. On the right, the set it has 5, 7, and 8. So it has the operation I3. I was going to play a little bit how that sounds like. So moving on, there's the second very distinctive technique that should be used is the transposition on the summer motif. What basically means that if we see the measure 5 and measure 9 over here, it is used in the T5 operation because the first note of the first initial of measure 5 is C sharp, and the first initial on the measure 9 is F sharp. So F sharp is 5 semitone above C sharp. So it means that it has the T5 transition, but if we also look at it, the interval in between, such as this C sharp to D or this F sharp to G, they are the same interval pitch. So thus I can further double check it is in T5 operation. Same idea here. The T4 operation in measure 12 and measure 16 has a bracket of two red circle sets. So For example, if we look at the measure 12 here, the A natural starts on the first initial, and also the C sharp that starts on the first initial on the measure 16. So in the end, C sharp is 4 semitone above A natural, so it means that it has four semitone. And if we check the interval, is leading us to T4 operation. So in the end, I think both of those techniques is just, I think what's very special that Schoenberg used to as being eccentric at his kind of idea when he's composing. And I think further moving on, I will give that attraction to how this kind of method influenced the form and structure. So yeah, we proceed on the structure phrase and the form structure. So what it means that this piece in general has the ternary form, which A, B, and goes back to A prime. But I think what's more interesting for me is how I can interpret the idea that this kind of structure is aligned with each section. So what I mean by that, if we look at the screenshot here as well for my example, measure 9 and measure 12, we can see the measure 9's circled, red circled set is in the I inversion operation with the one circle in the measure 12, also on the red circle. So we can see over here on the measure 9, the notes are E, F natural, and G sharp, whereas at the measure 12, you can see the notes are E, C sharp, E, and F natural. So basically, it has the prime form of, for example, 104, 014, and 034. And this, if we calculate together by the normal order, we get to I9. Whereas in here, if we proceed further on with further progression, the note in the measure 9, as I circle in blue, has D, E, and F natural, whereas if we circle on the measure 12, it has note C sharp, D, and E natural. And then it has, if we put the normal order together, we got I6 operation, and if we start based on prime order 023 or 013, we got a trichord operation as well. So I think this is very interesting that Schoenberg used it to adopt that, because it shows how the section align, because these two kind of overlapping correlation on the interval sets or the pitch set, it's giving us the reiteration that it gets back on a certain section. So actually, I just want to focus on a little bit on the timbre and also dynamic stuff and also understanding. So first, he used a very interesting and uniqueness of specialty, which is the Sprichstein timbre. Basically, it means that Schoenberg allowed the singer to not sing the pitch in the note, but whereas he wants the singer to dictate a speech voice where just talking. So I think this gives another approach of the music. So I'm going to play a little bit. Yeah, so I think you can definitely hear that this is on the background of the playing, whereas to the singing it's a kind of different timbre and different approach, whereas in singing it might be a little bit more dotted, more soft, and more short-coded, not that sustaining. But if we proceed on the unsettling motion, that gives the explanation why, though, because if we look at this measure 9 again, we can see there's 3 different elements of dynamic. You can see here, immer means to be consistent in the vagueness in this content of this piece, and also triple piano means to play very soft. But what the pinpoint is afterwards, if we see the supergenre here on this line, it means that it gives the fluctuation about the unsettlety, and also the unpredictableness. Which this, I think, dates back to what Schoenberg wants to mimic around the pale washerwoman, where the unpredictable action of that washerwoman is. So I think this is very interesting. And because of this unsustainable Sprichstein timbre, it has a lot of uncertainty as well added. So yeah, all about was my presentation. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Dr. Morrison, so much for your listening and watching. Hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you.